Hello everyone, welcome to Tia's Natural Soaps and All Things Pamper. Today is Thursday, May 20th, 2021, and the time is 10:37 a.m. Today I will be making my bug off candle, my citronella candle. So I sold the majority of them last week at the market. So I have one left, so today I'm going to make 4 more. So what I'm doing at this point, I like to put my warning labels on the bottom of my candles before I get started. And then that way they're already done. I have my warning labels on the bottoms. Got it, people? Okay. So when I buy my jars, excuse me, I got my Levo machine in the way my son bought me. I like to take my jars and I like to clean the inside and outside of my jars with rubbing alcohol. And these are some nice, heavy, thick candle jars. And I actually got these from the Dollar Tree. It's the same jars, same glass you see at all these expensive stores and websites. It's out there at the Dollar Tree, much cheaper. So those are all cleaned out. So what I like to do is, I don't have one of those wick things, but with these jars, since the top is a little wider, I always like to add at least 2 wicks. So I have a straw here, and what I do is I put the wick inside the straw, and that will help me center it. Everybody has straws in their house. There's no sense of going out and purchasing new things. So I put the wick here, and then this one of these big mouth straws, the wide straw. You can use any kind of straw, but I like these. I think I got these straws from Walmart, I believe. So I take and I put my straws down in here, center it, voila. Your candles are now wick. So I'm going to wick all these. And I do have my handy dandy wick holders so I can keep them in place. Nobody likes to pour a candle and your wicks are crooked. So you don't want to watch the whole entire thing for that. So I'm going to pause and get this taken care of. Okay, I got my jars are all wicked. The labels are on the bottom. And let me show you my jar. Got my wick holders on here. And with my essential oils, I measure out. I get a measuring spoon. Where's my measuring spoon? Lote, lote, lote. Lote, lote, lote. I don't know what I did with my measuring spoon. Oh, here you go. Here's my measuring spoon. I'm just wiping it off. There's nothing on here, but I think it was some shea butter. So my measuring spoon, I'm going to measure out my essential oils. I'm going to put it in this little glass beaker. And when you're working with essential oils, try not to use a paper cup or a little plastic, like those little Dixie cups that you use to, like in the bathroom, to wash out your mouth with or whatever. Try not to use those because essential oils are very strong and they're cold pressed. Most of them are cold pressed and it can eat through the plastic, or it can start, eating away at the your paper cups as well. So, and I am using citronella essential oils. So this is a tablespoon. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in here. Might have to do 3. 3 tablespoons of citronella. Then I have my lemongrass essential oil, because you know those, if you ever smelled a plain citronella candle, sometimes that scent could be overpowering. Gets in your nose, your throat, and God forbid you have it at a cookout. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons, not quite 2 tablespoons, because I ran out of lemongrass. I got another jar, but I don't need that much. Lemongrass essential oil. Then I have rosemary, a tablespoon of rosemary. And this one will go into my melted wax. Gotta make sure I put the right things here. This is the rosemary. And I have another essential oil that I use that helps. It's going to be a half a teaspoon. And I'm going to do a dash of eucalyptus. A half a tablespoon of that. A little bit more basil. So I will incorporate these essential oils by stirring it to make sure it's well incorporated. So this is what I'm going to pour in my melted wax, candle wax. And I'm using 100% soy-based wax. It melts more evenly. It has no parabens in it. It doesn't leave that soot that you see in candles. It burns clean. You know, some candles, a lot of times if you burn it in the same spot with like the parabens or beeswax and all that stuff, sometimes you can start to see like a little smoke ring on your ceiling. So I'm going to incorporate this, and while my wax is melting on the stove, I'm going to pause this, and then I'll show you how I pour. Okay, my wax is still melting, but while my wax is melting, I'm going to go ahead. The other day I made some eczema salve, so I'm going to clean off the lids, the top, to make sure there's no oil on the top, and I'm going to put on my labels. And I've got 3 more over there I need to clean off. And this is my eczema salve. So it's made with nettle leaf oil, shea butter, coconut, tamanu, avocado, and I make my own infused calendula oil and some other things that I put on here. Put inside my ingredients. So my labels I do myself. It's easier for me to do my labels myself versus paying a printing place to do it. Now, if I was making a lot of money and business was booming like it was a few years ago, I can have them all pre-printed. But I do, although I make my own labels, I do use Vistaprint to design them and print them out just perfect. So here's my label. These are 4-ounce cans. And when you're making stuff to sell, you actually have to put certain things on your labels. That's the ingredients, the name of the products, and usually, on the back of your can, you need to put, you know, how to use, any instructions, the ounce, how many ounces got to be on your label, And you also have to put like the state and zip. You don't have to necessarily put your personal address, but you can do your state and your zip. State, city, and zip code. And that's what you put on your labels. So this is what my eczema salve looks like. In the labels. So I got these. I need to make some more labels. I ran out of labels. The cans are a little dented on the bottom. When I was doing these the other day, you know, don't talk on the phone. If you're creating something, do what you have to do, and then go back to talking to whoever you want to do. Just say, I'm busy right now, I can't talk. I forgot to put my main ingredients in here, my nettle and tamanu oil. So after I realized it, they had set, I had to take all the wax out of the containers, clean the containers, remelt everything, then pour my special ingredients in. Thank God it was an easy fix. So I'm going to check on my wax, and I did add some green wax dye, candle dye, to my melting wax over there on the stove, because I like to tint this bug candle. And I'm going to check on that. I'm going to put you on a brief hold. Welcome back. My wax is melting nicely. And I have a smaller candle here. Sometimes what I do, sometimes when you make wax, sometimes it's hard to determine how much wax you're going to have left over or just have enough. Haven't mastered that yet. So a lot of times I like to make a candle, do an extra one, just in case I have leftover wax, and I can pour it in a smaller thing. So this will be a smaller bud candle, and I can sell this one a little cheaper or keep it for myself, but I think I have one already. And this smells so good. Just the lemongrass and the basil, all the extra. You can smell the essential oils. So I'm going to check on my wax again, but this is my little one just in case I have some wax left over. And that's an 8 ounce, so it's still big. I mean, hold on. Okay, my oils are all melted, my wax, and I did color it with green. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to tilt it over. But anyway, you'll see it when I pour it. So what I'm going to do, I got my scent all mixed in. I'm going to pour this all in here. And then you're going to swirl it to make sure it's all incorporated. If you don't want any oils to separate and sit on the top of your candle. Make sure I get everything out because these essential oils are expensive. So that's all out. Put this to the side. On my hand. So I'm going to stir this. Stir, 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 stir. Mmm. Smell that lemongrass. Let's see if I can get the rest of it out. So I gotta order more of that. That's more of Citronella. And when you like pouring these essential oils. Normally I would use a little doppler to measure it out, but since I'm using this whole batch is the same soap, the same candle, I just pour it in here, but I make sure I put it on, like I said, has paper here, tissue underneath of that. You don't want these essential oils to eat away at your countertop. This is granite. However, if you got like the Formica plastic countertops, I don't know if it eat away at stone. I never tried it, but even with this, I still want to be careful. I do not want the mister to be upset with me, if y'all know what that means. And granite is not cheap. Sorry about that. I had to have my fur baby to go downstairs because he's barking. So I'm going to pour my wax. So here you go. So far, so good. Sometimes I pour this wax and I'm just all over the place with it. Especially like if I'm doing a lot of things. Sometimes I try to do more than one thing. If I'm having an event and I go check my inventory, if I'm low, I try to do my candle wax, sugar scrubs, all of that, you know, trying to get it ready. But a lot of times it's just too much. And then I start making a whole lot of mistakes. Spillage, knocking stuff over. I'm going to pull this all the way up to the top. I wish I had one more big candle, but I don't. I could have actually had another jar. So these are my candles. I'm going to go ahead and let these sit up, or set up, or whatever you want to call it. Let it get hardened. And I'm going to find me another candle. These candles go for $12. I used to charge $15, but I put the prices down because of everything been going on. So these going to set. Once my candle's set up, then I'll go ahead and bring you back so you can see what they look like. And you can hit me up at Facebook. I will be uploading these on YouTube. Welcome back, everyone. My candles are setting up nicely. Get you a close-up so you can see. I'm starting to set up. You see at the bottom. I found another jar. It's not what I wanted, but I have an extra jar. So once the candles get set up and hardened, I'm going to cut off the wick. Cut the wick down short. And as always, when lighting candles, make sure you don't let your candle burn for more than 2 to 3 hours. My suggestion is 2. After 2, please blow your candles out. You don't want the glass to get overheated, regardless if it's a candle-safe glass or not. Don't have your candles down low where small children may knock it over, or a pet. Never burn your candle until the wax is empty. It will cause the glass to explode. That metal ring that holds the wick do get hot, and it also heats up that glass. But again, that is error on the customer, not the candle maker. So be leery when you're burning your candles. Candles are great, but you always use safety, 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 safety. And if you're not going to pay attention to your candles, I suggest you buy an electric candle warmer. They also have the ones with timers on it now. Thanks for watching. I will do an upload video of when I cut the wicks off. Toodles.